Hello there, Pisces. It's time for some love messages. Love messages just because we can. I'm Michele B, and thank you for your patience with my silly song. Hey, let's get this going. It's early. I'm like, what? Nope, time to get those messages out there. The sun is just starting to light things up out there in the sky. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. Pisces love messages. It's Pisces season right now. And so happy birthday, first of all. But also it's like everything's so dreamy and so like, ooh, I wonder where that could go. Ooh, I wonder where that could go. So let's find out what is just going to come popping out. What's the subject of this reading? All right, the star. And you know what I love about that? It's healing and a time of peace and equilibrium after a challenging period. I feel like this is the card that symbolizes Aquarius, and I feel like coming from Aquarius season, you were really like out of sorts, and right now you're feeling because it was so electric, right? It was like interstellar, explosive. It's like, I don't know, things got weird. And so and especially I think like in your connections with your sweethearts, connections with the people that you're trying to like get to know better, things just got kind of weird and you weren't sure where your footing was, but now things have become a little bit more stable, and it's like, okay, this is where it's going to go. And then you're just kind of like finding yourself falling into a little bit of a daydream. A daydream of what could possibly be. I like that. Why not? The thing I like to do though when I'm because I have a Pisces rising, so I do find myself falling into daydreams quite a bit. Little fantasies about like living out this like trajectory that doesn't exist. And often it never ends up coming to pass at all. And with my Virgo sun, I'm like, wait a minute. Now, if you're not in the here and now, then you're going to create all of these expectations that are going to make you disappointed later. So keep that in mind when you're doing all of your imagining of what could possibly be, because you're kind of making a wish, you're kind of putting a manifestation, a desire out there for it to become a creation. I'd be up for it to work out like this. I'd be up for it to work out like that. So that's good, but also you don't want to set things up so that you have expectations that are not in alignment with what the other person has in mind. Because often, I mean, what happens a lot for me is that I imagine this thing, and that's not where they're at all. They're like, I just wanted to fool around, and I'm like, but we were gonna get married and travel the world together in my dream, in my fantasy. And so I think that's what this time in with the stars is like. It's kind of like, oh, that's cute, and it's also a little bit of a warning. Just like when you're imagining, just say to yourself, ooh, this is the kind of relationship I would like to have. But it doesn't have to be that person in the relationship that I have to have. This is the kind of connection that I want to have with someone, and it doesn't have to be that person, right? These are the kinds of experiences that I'd like to have. And so the two clarifying cards that I got, so we can look a little bit deeper into the situation, we got the Six of Pentacles and we got the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man being, he's in the reverse. He is symbolic of Pisces. It's interesting that I'm looking back because I had my deck over here when I was looking at it this morning, and I pulled a card just to pull a card. My cat's getting into all kinds of shenanigans on the other side of the wall over there. Trouble. I pulled the Hanged Man, and I did a little study of the Hanged Man. And when it's in the reverse like that, it's all about being afraid to take steps forward. And so I think that the person that you're connecting with, if you're not able to have like an open line of communication with them, it could be that what you don't know is that they're concerned about committing. They have that commitment phobia issues. They're concerned about, particularly with you, because they don't know you very well. I mean, they're like, I could go forward, but I don't want to. I could, but I'm afraid. So that's what that Hanged Man is all about. I could be making movement, some progress going forward, but I'm afraid. I just don't feel ready for it. So that's two major arcana coming out. So those are significant things. I feel like the stars where you are, ooh, it could be like this, it could be like that. And the Hanged Man, that's where your other party is at. It's like, ooh, I don't know. So here's some advice. We got that Six of Pentacles here. Some advice for Pisces is to only invest into the relationship according to how much your sweetheart, the person that you're thinking of, is investing. Because, or instead, how about this? Instead of investing as much as your fantasy is wanting to invest. Like your fantasy partner, remember I was talking about, this is your daydream for a relationship, not a daydream of what your connection is going to be with that person in particular. If in your fantasy relationship you're able to be generous and to take care of each other, to you're like, I'm gonna like show up with lunch for you. I'm gonna buy your ticket so we can go on vacation. All these things that you could possibly do for your person. That's what you would do in your ideal relationship. But this person is not in that ideal relationship space right now. So just to keep things balanced, right? That's what you're trying to seek out with anybody, is try to have a balanced connection. So to have that balance, move something out of the way for Kitty so he can lay down. Just don't invest more than they are. So try to have one foot on the ground when you're daydreaming about your ideal fantasy. That one foot on the ground is always watching for what is really happening in the connection. Okay. Do we have any prospects on the trajectory that Pisces is on right now? Long-term, I guess like long-term outcomes of the connection? What's going to happen? We got the Strength card in reverse, so I don't see them stepping forward into their courage. Okay, it's in reverse. Da-da-da. I don't see them stepping forward into their courage in the near future at all. Okay. And you might become impatient with that. But you know what the cool thing is about contrast? When the situation is not the same as what we would like it to be, the wonderful thing about that is that we get to learn what we do want in contrast with what things that are happening that we don't want. So this is a wonderful connection to cut your teeth on and find out what you do want. How about that? Excuse me, I inhaled. Oh, Pisces, I love you. Thank you so much for being with me today. Whew, happy birthday. If you love my reading style, make sure and check my playlists. Make sure and subscribe. I love you, and I'll see you later.